channel. If you guys are new here, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you're not, welcome back to my fun little world. So today we're doing something a little different. We're gonna do reading crazy stories about, like, I don't know the theme yet, but reading crazy stories on Reddit while I do my makeup. So I put co-worker stories, but I think I'm gonna do crazy ex. Yeah, I got plenty. So first of all, I'm gonna hydrate my lips because yeah, I seen someone do this video and I was like, you know what, I got to do it. Because before I didn't have a channel, so I was like, oh my god, I wish I could do it, but now I can't do it. So thank you. So I'm gonna just go through my makeup. I'm not gonna tell y'all like what's what, because that's not the focus of the video. Okay, so I was dating a young lady who lived in the Midlands, and she come down to London on the weekends and would have some fun. Nothing too serious. Where is it? Nothing too serious, but it made my weekends enjoyable. Okay. Out of the blue, I was asked to move from London to New York, but my work, yeah, I'm sorry, but the person who wrote this, whatever. Nothing too serious, but it made my weekends enjoyable. Out of the blue, I was asked to move from London to New York by my work, so I told my then casual partner that I have to break things off because I was leaving the country. She accepted it and stopped coming down at the weekends during, you know what I'm trying to say. If I make mistakes, it's not my fault. It's the person who wrote, okay? Anyways, fast forward a few months and my move to New York gets canned due to budget cuts. Okay, makes sense. I still had my ex on Facebook, so I started to notice some odd photos popping up. It turned out she had quit her job and moved to New York when she thought I was going to move, and I was now living there for 6 months. She reached out to me and told me a few days later. I had to explain to her. She was kind of pissed. But baby, why would you move for a man that, you know what? I said I'm reading the stories. I'm not judging today. I'm not judging today, but that's kind of crazy if you think about it. That's crazy. First story, I feel like that's insane. Cause what? Why would you move there? Child. Second story. You know what? I'm gonna give my opinion because I can. I feel like that's kind of insane of her to move there. First of all, I don't even know where to start, because I'm flabbergasted. Because why would you move there, baby? Like, one thing I learned from, I wouldn't say experience because clearly not. One thing I did learn from, like, seeing other people, I'm gonna say perspectives and like perspective and relationships. Don't move and don't leave everything behind for a partner. I'm not gonna say just for a man. I did say for a man in this case scenario because obviously that was the case. But so yeah, honestly, that's one thing I did learn. Thank God, I'm very grateful that it never happened to me. But if I learned something, don't move, don't change your whole life. I wouldn't say routine, because routine, it's obvious. Don't change your whole life. Don't just up and go for a man. The amount of stories I've heard where it went left so quick. But that's crazy though. But at least, what I can't say, he had the decency to tell her, you know what, I ain't get the thing. That's crazy. But their job is dead wrong too, because why would you build my hopes up and I'm like, yes, I'm gonna leave for like new opportunities, and then budget cuts. No. Anyways, next story in the bed. My ex was somewhat of a liar, major alcoholic and abusive. The time it took for her to switch from, oh, we drinking, having fun, well now I like to see how hard I can punch you in the face, was minimal. I broke up with her 3 times, and after getting back with her those times, she was sweet, considerate, and awesome. They always like that. Who said that? Then a couple months later, she resorted her old tactics. Give me 1 second. The worst thing though, she made me think that it was my fault. When I finally ended it, it was, bro. When I finally ended it, it was the previous New Year's. We were at a bar drinking, and where we got in this slight argument, she started beating me up. That's crazy. Our friends were witnessing the entire thing, and let me guess, they didn't do nothing. My buddy and I were talking the next day, and he asked why it happened, and I said I don't know, but I probably deserved it. Realized how fucked up it was for me to say that, and I got out of there happier than ever. Also, I never laid a hand on her, neither to harm or stop her. Wow. First of all, it is really sad how, like, I'm speaking both genders once again, how like someone can make you feel like everything is your fault when it's clearly not, in there in the wrong. That is dead ass wrong. I feel like that is so wrong, first of all. Second of all, I'm gonna be that type of person, but I feel like it's not because the person who's telling the story is a man that it should not be taken as serious. I know a lot of people, especially in this generation, don't want to take consideration when it comes to men getting abused in a relationship, but I feel like that's so wrong, because she knew what she was doing. Because if he was to put his hands on her, oh, she would have flipped. She would have flipped the freak out, like that. For her, she would have flipped out. What is that? I don't know. Next story. I was engaged to my high school sweetheart, who I pretty much allowed to treat me like I was dirt for years. After high school, while we were living together, it was apparent that the relationship wasn't going anywhere, and I finally found the courage to end it. I was the one with the job and the money, so I was keeping the apartment and asked her to move out. I think I gave her like 2 weeks or something, but it was a long time ago. Eventually, she shacked up with some guy, I think, and was out of my hair. Every now and then she would pop in case she left all her stuff at my place while she was trying to find a new place. I kept hearing stories from everyone of her epic level of sluttiness, and just tried to stay away as far as possible. At some point, though, out of anger, I went into her jewelry box and took back the engagement ring I'd given her. It was several weeks before she realized that it was gone, and I already sold it, and told her when she confronted me in my apartment. She lost her stuff. Not stuff, but she lost her mind. Let me say it like that, because I don't want to cuss. She lost her mind. She started demanding that I give it back to her, or at least its value in cash. I told her that that's not how engagement ring works, and she can F off. She started hitting me and trashing my place. I didn't have to take it. She was smaller than me, and at the time a black belt. I was a black belt, but I just let her take out her anger. She ripped my shirt, slapped me, punched me, kicked, whatever. The whole BS, basically. Finally, she hit me square in the face and drove my head into the wall behind me. On the other side of that door was a calendar hanging on a nail, stuck to the door, and just a small amount, but enough to drive me back to the back of my skull, and it freaking hurt. Basically, she punched him and there was something in the wall, and then he took it on his head and that hurt. I just grabbed her hand first to stop her from flailing anyone and directed her to the door. She could tell that I lost my patience and she just stormed out. About an hour later, she shows up, this time with her mom and the police. The cop took my statement, took one look at me and asked if I wanted to press charges or I needed an ambulance. I declined both, and he escorted her and her mom out of my and advised that they take it up with a small claims court if they wanted to proceed any further. That's crazy. So if I get it, basically he left her. She wouldn't leave the apartment. She would always find something to come back to the apartment. And then he took the engagement ring and he sold it. And then she realized and she lost her stuff. Well, lost her mind. And tried, well, hit him, and then his head hit the wall. And then there was a calendar with I don't know what it's called, like a nail on it. And he took that in his head and it hurts. He's better than me. I would have pressed charges, baby. But I guess he was just so tired of like dealing with that situation. So yeah, but I'm happy he left, period. Y'all, why all of these are women? Why the women are the crazier one? I'm not saying that men is always men, but I really thought it was just gonna be some women explaining how their ex-boyfriend were crazy. My ex-wife is bipolar and has a complete disconnect from reality. She went into behavior that I guess could be called maniac, but it was worse than that. She destroyed every part of her life and secretly ran up $70,000 in credit card debt, like taking large groups of people to expensive restaurants. She forged and removed my name from documents and ended up taking every possession that I had, with the exception of my computer. She left me homeless and penniless. Wow. Okay, but do y'all think in that case that her what is it called, her bipolar and maniac situation be taken in count? Because I don't know. That's crazy. $70,000 in debt just because you were taking people out to restaurants? Baby girl. I don't have a lot to say on this story, not gonna lie to you guys. I don't have a lot to say. So I'm gonna just go to the next story. Y'all, when I was 16, I lost my V card to my girlfriend at the time. I was completely consensual, but after we broke up, she threatened to tell her mother that I SA'd her and attempted to extort money from me. At first, I was terrified, but after thinking through, I told her to F off. Yo, I don't know what's going on tonight, but that's crazy though. Cause what? Wait, it doesn't even make sense. Hold on. What if she does go on with, you know what, there were some answers. How did it end? I feel like saying F off to someone threatening SA is the last thing you would want to do. Did he answer? Y'all, he didn't. He never answered. I had a girl. Yo, the person never answered. That is insane though. People really be insane. And that was after they broke up? Yeah, because he said at the time. But why in his story he said it was completely consensual. Not I was. It was completely consensual. That's interesting. In high school, my ex-girlfriend carved my name under her left breast after I broke up with her. It's still there. And somebody replies, so how do you know it's still there? And he said she is more mentally stable nowadays. We get along well. See, that I'm keeping my opinions to myself, I think, because I'm finna get canceled. Let's keep going. Well, she went to my house when I wasn't home and stole my gun. Wait, is it the same story? No. She went to my house when I wasn't there and stole my gun. Then a couple weeks later, I woke up to her making out with me. Pretty messed up. And before people get on my case about not locking the door or changing the locks, my brother is the a-hole who keeps leaving the door open. See, now I'm gonna react to this one. I haven't reacted to none of, first of all, why isn't your gun in a safe? Second of all, you woke up to her making out with you without consent? Baby, that's SA. Third of all, you had the audacity to tell us the story and be like, before people get on my case. We were not going to get on your case before you said that. You said, before people get on my case about not locking the doors. Why are you not locking the doors? Why are you not locking the door, first of all? And then you have the audacity in the same sentence to say that your brother is the a-hole. I think it's time, whether that's your brother or not, I think it's time that you kick your brother out your house. What? What do you mean as a grown ass? What do you mean as a grown man you come home and you leave the door wide open? Are you well? Are you well? No, are you well? Just let me know. What do you mean as a grown man you come home and you don't lock the doors? You just keep going on about your day. When I get home, the first thing I lock the doors. I don't play. And you bruh, don't piss me off. Don't piss me off. Go to the police, because that's SA, and kick your brother out and make sure you have a safe for your gun. Everybody is like, oh, gun. Y'all don't even have a safe. Y'all, I talked for like almost an hour straight on here. That's crazy. But people have interesting stories, I look so cute. Hold on. I love this. Like, why can't my makeup come out always like this? But anyways, that was it for the stories. I know it was not a lot, but I talked a lot already. So yeah, so I need to, you know what I'm saying? So I need to wrap it up. Also, let me know if you guys would like more of these. I'll probably do a part 2 and part 3 because I feel like people have insane stories, and I'll probably do like a different one, different topics and everything. So yeah, just let me know. But thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Road to 1K, and I'm seeing you on the next one. Bye, y'all.